The entire hall became quiet. Burning gazes stared intently at the more than 1,000 small jade bottles. This kind of large-scale display of pills, no one here had ever seen with their own eyes. Xiao Yu's pink tongue unconsciously licked her red lips. Xiao Yu was equally stunned by such a massive quantity of pills. Her face showed a look of immense shock. After a moment she sighed, shaking her head in awe. She looked at the black-robed person, and her eyes seemed to have stars faintly twinkling within them. The girl in green sitting by the window tilted her small head. She glanced at the pile of small bottles stacked on the table. A look of surprise flashed in her clear, autumn water eyes. Her gaze swept over the black-robed person once more. Unable to find any suspicious points, she then continued to lower her head, and read the ancient book in her hand. Seeing everyone in the large room stunned by the number of pills, the black-robed person cleared his throat, causing everyone to startle awake. "You are reading the story copied at tree in full." "Ah." Xiao Zhan's face flushed slightly. He smiled awkwardly. He looked towards the black-robed person, and the respect in his eyes increased even more. To be able to casually produce over 1,000 bottles of wound medicine, this kind of grand gesture Thursday, but was not something an ordinary alchemist could achieve. "Old master, you know the Xiao clan's current situation. We want to use this wound medicine to recover the lost popularity. This matter, for our Xiao clan, is undoubtedly like adding charcoal in the snow bow than lend to it, giving timely help." Xiao Zhan sighed gratefully. He pondered for a moment, then tentatively asked, "How about this? Our Xiao clan will be responsible for selling this wound medicine. Of the profits earned, the old master takes 9 parts alone, and the remaining 1 part, although it's a bit shameless, we still need a small amount, old master. What do you think?" Finished speaking, Xiao Zhan looked at the black-robed person with a hint of nervousness, afraid that the condition he offered would displease him. The Xiao clan now had to rely on this mysterious alchemist. The black-robed person smiled faintly, slowly shaking his head. Seeing the black-robed person's gesture, Xiao Zhan's face subtly changed. He was about to suggest reducing the last portion, but the aged voice made everyone stunned in place. "Clan leader Xiao is too polite. Although the pill was refined by me, selling it is not an easy task. How can I take advantage of you? Let's be fair now and split it 5-5. Hearing the black-robed person's words, the 3 elders, who were worried, and the clan members who were dissatisfied, instantly gasped with their mouths wide open. Only after half a day did they instinctively rub their ears, all slightly suspicious. Was this real, splitting it 5-5? Then, did this old master truly care for the Xiao clan? In the current situation, even if he took 10 parts of the profit, the Xiao clan would probably not dare to refuse. Heaven truly is falling. Everyone exchanged glances, and the same thought arose in everyone's mind. Stunned for half a day, Xiao Zhan slowly recovered his senses. He let out a breath and said with a bitter laugh, "Old master, doing this truly makes the Xiao clan feel flattered yet afraid, sung I ma so high. That you would help the Xiao clan at this time, we are already incredibly grateful. How could we possibly take advantage of you?" Casually waving his hand, the black-robed person said with a calm smile, "This small profit holds no attraction for me. If I weren't afraid that you would feel uneasy, I truly wouldn't even take 5 parts. Hearing such grand words, Xiao Zhan could only shake his head with a forced bitter laugh. "You shall sell these pills. When I have time later, I'll come back to check." The black-robed person stood up and said with a smile, "I still have some matters to attend to. Clan leader Xiao, you don't need to see me off. Focus on arranging the clan's affairs." Finished speaking, under everyone's gaze, he walked straight out. Stopping at the door, the black-robed person suddenly paused. He smiled and said, before leaving. I'll speak one sentence, Xiao Yan is truly not bad. Ha ha, this old man is grateful. Hearing these words, Xiao Zhan's mind was somewhat confused. Just as he was about to speak, the black-robed person had already walked out of the main hall, gradually disappearing from sight around the corner. Looking at the vanishing black-robed person, Xiao Zhan let out a soft sigh after a long while. He said with a bitter laugh, it seems Yenna has some connection with that old master. Otherwise, he wouldn't even recognize us, so how could he help us like this? The three elders exchanged glances and also nodded with a sigh. Since the moment this gentleman walked in until he left, he had praised Xiao Yan several times. Clearly, he favored our clan, and his kindness towards the Xiao clan undoubtedly had something to do with Xiao Yan. In the main hall, hearing that the black-robed person who had just left was related to Xiao Yan, everyone couldn't help but look envious and jealous. The girl in green by the window tilted her small head. Her gaze looked through the window toward the corner of the road. Her willow eyebrows furrowed. A look of confusion appeared on her delicate, exquisite small face. Leaving the Xiao clan, the black-robed person walked slowly as before. After reaching a secluded spot, a soft, complaining voice of a youth came from within the black cloak. Master, why did you suddenly drag me out like that? If I had been discovered, I might have found it difficult not to expose you. Heh, I was just speaking off the cuff. Furthermore, Xiao Zhan has been kind to you since you were young. Where else would I find such a good disciple? So it's right that I should thank him. The aged voice said with a humorous laugh. Besides, if I hadn't made it seem like you and I have some connection, your cautious father would have found it hard to believe me, and would have thought I wanted something from the Xiao clan. Go make a trip to the auction house. Give them the chi gathering pill so we don't owe them a favor. I hate that the most. Moreover, you've burned up all the practice ingredients. It's time to get new ingredients. Yao Lao pondered slightly and said with a smile. Hearing this, Xiao Yan asked with a hint of anticipation and a laugh, Master, can I consider myself a first-rank alchemist now? Do you think you become an alchemist just by refining for a few days? Refining wound medicine is the simplest type of pill. Successfully refining this is nothing to fantasize about. Yao Lao scoffed with a laugh, pouring a bucket of cold water on Xiao Yan without holding back. Staring wide-eyed, Xiao Yan was a little frustrated. Then how does one truly become a first-rank alchemist? The alchemy world's standard for a first-rank alchemist is that one must be able to refine at least one type of pill, not this simple mixture of liquid and paste. It seems there is still some distance to go. Hearing this condition, Xiao Yan could only shake his head helplessly. He quickly walked towards the auction house in the city center. In the guest room behind the primer auction house, on the clean table was a small jade box. Inside, a large, pale green pill the size of a dragon's eye lay quietly. The surface of the pill was smooth and bright, and a strong, strange fragrance diffused from within, refreshing the mind. Looking at the pill in the jade box, the faces of the auction house manager and Yafei were overjoyed. Almost impossible to hide. The two glanced with a look of awe that seemed to pierce through the black cloak. Xiao Yan secretly shook his head. He chuckled inwardly. What would their expressions be if they knew this qi-gathering pill was secretly refined by Yao Lao using reduced ingredients? This qi-gathering pill that Xiao Yan produced was clearly one rank inferior to the one he had used before. However, even so, this qi-gathering pill, casually refined by Yao Lao, still brought considerable joy to Yafei. The refining skill of the old master truly makes people admire. Only a fifth-rank alchemist or higher could compare. Once again looking at the jade green pill, Gu and I sighed. The voice in the black cloak said with a calm laugh, the two of you take this pill. You've helped me so much with miscellaneous matters, I wouldn't feel at ease if I didn't thank you a little. Ah, old master is truly too kind. You are our guest, this is simply our duty. Yafei carefully held the jade box. Her bright eyes flowed, and she said with a calm smile. Undeniably, this smile and these words, let alone Yao Lao, even Xiao inwardly snickered. If they truly acted carefully as she claimed, the primer auction house would have closed long ago. Taking a piece of paper from inside, Xiao handed it to Yafei. The aged voice laughed and said, "Please help me purchase some medicinal ingredients on this paper." Enthusiastically accepting the paper, Yafei quickly glanced at it a few times. She chuckled and agreed. Having learned her lesson last time, she no longer dared to hesitate at all. Waving her hand to call a maid, she handed the paper to her, then quickly instructed her to prepare the items. Lifting the hot teacup, Xiao lightly sipped it. His heart suddenly stirred. He pondered for a moment, and the aged voice slowly transmitted out, "Miss Yafei, I have something to ask." Hearing Yao Lao speak, Yafei smiled calmly and said softly, "Old master, please speak. The Jiaolai clan has bought quite a few medicinal ingredients here, haven't they?" Yao Lao asked indifferently. Hearing this, Yafei's charming smile subtly changed. She secretly glanced at Gu Ni. She was silent for a long while before hesitantly saying, "The Jiaolai clan did indeed spend nearly 10,000 gold coins buying medicinal ingredients from the auction house last time, including some simple healing and hemostatic medicines." Nodding slightly, the aged voice suddenly fell silent. Looking at the mysterious black-robed person, Yafei felt somewhat anxious in her heart. She already knew this person was preparing to assist the Xiao clan. Now that the auction house had sold such a large amount of medicinal ingredients to the Jiaolai clan, it was hard to know whether this old master would harbor any resentment towards the auction house. The atmosphere in the hall slowly sank. Looking at the black-robed person remaining silent, Yafei felt a bit restless. If Gu Ni hadn't continuously signaled her to stop, she would have long opened her mouth to ask. "You must know what I bought so many medicinal ingredients for, right?" After a moment, the aged voice finally broke the silence. Yafei bit her red lips slightly. She softly nodded, whispering, "Is the old master planning to refine the medicinal ingredients into wound medicine to assist the Xiao clan?" "I have already refined wound medicine for the Xiao clan." Yao Lao nodded slightly, saying in a deep voice, "Perhaps in 2 days, the Xiao clan will use wound medicine to compete for popularity in the Wutian city market against the Jiaolai clan." Towards this topic, Yafei didn't know how to respond. So she maintained silence. Refining wound medicine requires a large quantity of low-level medicinal ingredients. Aside from the primer auction house in Wutian City, Northwest other place has the ability to supply this quantity. Seeing Yafei say nothing, Yao Lao continued. "The competition between the two major clans over wound medicine will rely on the quality, but also on the sufficient supply of medicinal ingredients. Therefore, I hope the primer auction house can refuse to supply the Jiaolai clan with medicinal ingredients from now on." As soon as Yao Lao finished speaking, Xiao Yan's eyes immediately pierced through the black curtain, staring intently at this charming, fox-like beauty. He only had 2 months left in Wutian City. Therefore, within these 2 months, he had to help his father overthrow the Jiaolai clan. Only then could he leave with Yao Lao for practical training with peace of mind. Hearing Yao Lao's request, Yafei's face slightly changed. She said with difficulty, "Old master, our primer auction house has a long-standing rule not to interfere in the battles between any clan. If we agree to your request to assist the Xiao clan, it would violate our rules. I can refine 2 qi gathering pills for you free of charge." Yao Lao said calmly. You are reading the story at https://truyenful.vn. Old master, it's not a matter of pills, it truly. The allure of 2 qi gathering pills made Yafei's jade hand uncontrollably tremble, but she still tried to restrain herself. 3 pills. Old master. Ye Fei laughed bitterly. Gu Ni beside her was also violently twitching. 3 qi-gathering pills. Obtaining that would be worth around 500,000 gold coins. 5 pills. The aged voice rang out indifferently, mercilessly striking the defense line in Ye Fei's heart. Hiss. Ye Fei's beautiful eyes slowly closed. She subtly inhaled a breath of cold air. Only after a long while did she recover, suddenly laughing bitterly and saying, "Old master, you win. From now on, the primer auction house will not supply the Jialai clan with any medicinal ingredients." Miss Ye Fei's composure truly surprised me. I will bring the pills here in 1 month. Of course, the prerequisite is that the primer auction house does not disappoint me. Yao Lao laughed faintly. Old master, please rest assured. Ye Fei is fully aware of what is important and what is not. Having gained experience in the auction house for several years, Ye Fei quickly recovered her composure. The value of the Jialai clan was almost incomparable to the value of an alchemist above 4th rank. This choice was actually not too difficult. The biggest difficulty was knowing when to choose whom to gain the largest benefit. And for the benefit this time, Ye Fei was already very satisfied. Looking at the medicinal ingredients in his hand, the black-robed person left the room with satisfaction. Ye Fei's tense body finally slumped down onto the chair, her plump, graceful, soft figure creating an unusual allure, like a little fox. This old master is truly too aggressive. Leaning back on the chair, Ye Fei laughed bitterly and shook her head. Gu Ni on the side also wiped his forehead and sighed, 5 qi-gathering pills. His casual gesture is quite grand, even for a 4th-rank alchemist. Ye Fei nodded, pouting her small mouth in self-mockery. I thought I could hold out, but I didn't expect. Gu Ni smiled. If it were me, I fear I would have agreed when he offered 3 pills. The fact that you held out until 5 pills is already beyond my expectation. It wasn't that I held out, I was stunned and lost my senses because he scared me, so I didn't dare to speak. I didn't expect he had such courage, directly increasing the offer by 2 pills. Ye Fei rolled her eyes and couldn't help but laugh. Your moment of stunned silence earned the auction house nearly 40,000 gold coins. Hearing this, Gu Ni chuckled teasingly, covering her red lips with her jade hand. And chuckling a few times, Ye Fei stood up from the chair. She sighed, the Jialai clan has truly hit a brick wall this time. Gu Ni nodded in agreement. However, what makes me somewhat doubtful is that the old master seems to have no prior acquaintance with the Xiao clan, does he? Why is he so enthusiastic about helping them? He even didn't hesitate to pay a price of 5 qi-gathering pills to disrupt the Jialai clan's source of medicine. A trace of doubt flashed in her eyes. Ye Fei whispered, "Who knows? This great master's background is extremely mysterious. I've never heard of such an alchemist in the Jiama Empire." Gu Ni shook his head. Ye Fei slightly nodded. Her eyes flowed, and she pondered slightly. She smiled, saying, "It seems that in the future, we should interact more with the Xiao clan. With this old master's pills, I believe the profit from auctioning them in Wuten City will double. When the clan assesses merits later, who will be able to suppress me?" Saying this, Ye Fei's alluring red lips held a hint of triumph. She put her hands behind her back, hummed a small tune, and then leisurely walked out of the guest room. Leaving the guest room, Xiao Yan let out a soft sigh, whispering, "Thank you, master." "What's there to thank? If I don't overthrow the Jialai clan, how can you focus on your training with me?" Yao Lao said helplessly. "Heh heh." Xiao Yan grinned. He said nothing more. He circled around the area for a long while, then went to a secluded spot to remove the black cloak. He then carefully headed onto the main road, rushing towards the Xiao clan. Returning to the clan, Xiao Yan occasionally encountered clan members. He could see that these people looked at him with eyes full of yearning and jealousy, clearly because the events in the main hall today had spread. Towards such gazes, Xiao Yan pretended not to see them, and walked straight to his room. Turning a corner, a red-clad girl suddenly rushed towards him. Fortunately, Xiao Yan avoided her in time, or they would have awkwardly collided. "Cousin Xiao Yan. I finally found you." The red-clad girl retreated a step and looked up. The conflict between purity and seductiveness on her small, beautiful face was subtly revealed, making her more attractive than other girls of the same age. This kind of attraction made Xiao Yan unable to help but look a few times. The small face, currently showing joy, belonged to Xiao Mei. His gaze swept over Xiao Mei's beautiful face a few times. Xiao Yan rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "What is it?" Hearing his somewhat indifferent tone, Xiao Mei's voice softened. Her face looked slightly sad as she whispered, "The clan leader wants to see cousin Xiao Yan. He's waiting in the room." "Ah." Startled for a moment, Xiao Yan nodded with a smile, "Got it, thanks." As he spoke, he waved his hand and turned to walk towards the front courtyard. "Cousin Xiao Yan, thank you for last time." Seeing Xiao Yan walk away resolutely, disappointment flashed in Xiao Mei's eyes. She bit her lip and said softly. Stopping his steps, Xiao Yan casually waved his hand behind him and said lightly, "It was merely convenience." Staring intently at Xiao Yan's retreating back, Xiao Mei suddenly mustered up her courage and asked, "Cousin Xiao Yan, are you participating in the Jianan Academy's student recruitment?" "Maybe so." The youth clasped his hands behind his neck, slowly walking further away, leaving his soft voice drifting back. Hearing Xiao Yan's words, the previously gloomy beautiful face of Xiao Mei finally brightened somewhat. Clenching her hand, seeing Xiao Yan disappear from sight, she sighed softly with resentment and turned to leave. Walking several laps around the clan, Xiao Yan finally reached a spacious area in the front and slowly pushed the door open to enter. Inside the room, Xiao Zhan and the three elders were present. They were discussing something. Seeing Xiao Yan arrive, they immediately stopped. "Father, did you look for me?" Smiling and nodding, Xiao Yan stepped forward and asked with a laugh. Nodding with a smile, Xiao Zhan and the three elders exchanged glances and whispered, "You must have met that old master." "N." Xiao Yan nodded. He knew whom Xiao Zhan was referring to. "You are reading the story at Thien Full Thien Full. Do you know his background?" Xiao Zhan said thoughtfully. "I only just met him not long ago. How would I know his background?" Xiao Yan's words came from the heart. He truly still didn't know Yao Lao's background. "But I know he is an alchemist." Xiao Yan scratched his head and said with a smile, "Nonsense." Rolling his eyes, Xiao Zhan scolded with a laugh. Shaking his head and smiling, Xiao Zhan's mood was clearly excellent. He asked Xiao Yan about Yao Lao again, but Xiao Yan made him confused. In the end, he couldn't get any information. "You brat, I don't know if you're pretending or not." Unable to get any answers, Xiao Zhan helplessly shook his head and waved his hand, saying, "Go do your own things. If you meet that old master again later, don't anger him. The future of the Xiao clan still depends on him." "Ah." Xiao Yan shrugged, neither admitting nor denying it. "Ahem. Xiao Yan, I see your aura now seems a bit stronger." "Ah." The first elder on the side stared intently at Xiao Yan and suddenly said, with a hint of hesitation. Hearing the first elder's words, Xiao Zhan was also startled. His gaze concentrated, and he slowly swept his eyes over Xiao Yan. After a moment, his mouth gradually widened and he said in surprise, You broke through to Dou practitioner." Hearing this, the corners of the second elder and third elder's mouths twitched. They stared at the youth before them in disbelief. Ah! Scratching his head, Xiao Yan said innocently, it seems so. I cultivated, and somehow I broke through. The corner of Xiao Zhan's eyes twitched violently. He was both surprised and exasperated. What do you usually cultivate? At this point, Xiao Yan had created so many miracles that Xiao Zhan was almost numb. Xiao Zhan waved his hand and said with a forced bitter laugh, it's good that you broke through. If you have time, go to the guild and get your rank badge. Xiao Yan nodded. He said humorously, can I go? I really don't know how I broke through directly without a single failure. You can get lost. Rolling his eyes, Xiao Zhan scolded with a laugh. This brat was purely trying to provoke others. Didn't he know that? The three elders sitting here all failed at least twice during their chi cyclone condensation before successfully becoming Dou practitioners. Looking at the three elders' slightly stiff faces, Xiao Yan laughed loudly. Only after Xiao Zhan cursed him did he run out of the room. Hearing the youth's laughter fade into the distance, the three elders exchanged glances. They couldn't help but smile bitterly. The tide turns. After the Xiao clan received Xiao Yan's covert support and maintained a large stock of wound medicine, they did not immediately reveal it outside. Instead, they secretly began to counterattack the Jiaolai clan. That day, inside the clan's main hall, Xiao Zhan and the three elders issued an order for absolute secrecy. The matter concerning the wound medicine was listed as the highest level taboo. Any clan member who revealed it to outsiders would be dealt with according to clan rules. The Xiao clan remained completely silent for the past 2 days. The Jiaolai clan became even more arrogant, relentlessly using various means to completely draw away the loyal merchants and markets of the Xiao clan. Towards this, the Xiao clan remained silent as before. Seeing the Xiao clan's weak reaction, some minor forces who were watching began to feel disappointed. A few shrewd individuals quietly prepared to make some preemptive moves. The strange atmosphere silently passed for these 2 days. When the sun rose high, the Jiaolai clan's market area was still bustling, as it had been during the previous period. People poured onto the streets. The area where the rejuvenation powder was sold was even more crowded. Shouts, curses, and fighting converged, creating a deafening noise that soared to the sky. At the pill stall, the Jiaolai clan members happily watched the outsiders fight to buy the wound medicine. Their faces held a triumphant smile. Jiaolai Ku, a core member of the Jiaolai clan with considerable status, managed a very prosperous market area of the Jiaolai clan. Standing in front of the stall, Jiaolai Ku looked down at the jostling crowd. A triumphant smile covered his round, greasy face. During this period, the sales volume of the rejuvenation powder had greatly exceeded the Jiaolai clan's estimates. Faced with such great appeal, the Jiaolai clan was not satisfied. Therefore, they directly jumped the price of the rejuvenation powder from 100 gold coins to approximately 300 gold coins, a threefold increase. Although the price increase made many mercenaries feel disgusted and resentful, the rejuvenation powder was only sold by the Jiaolai clan. Thus, despite their extreme dissatisfaction, most mercenaries reluctantly accepted reality. Humming a small tune, Jiaolai Ku's small eyes narrowed into slits. He said softly with smugness, if you don't buy it, someone else will. Stretching his short, chubby hand to shield the sun, Jiaolai Ku impatiently wiped the sweat from his forehead. He muttered, damn it, the sun is so hot today. It looks like I'll have to cool down tonight. TSK, that little girl's soft legs and slender waist from last time truly made me crave it, ah. Thinking of this, a surge of lustful heat rose in Jiaolai Ku's body. He wiped his sweat once more. Suddenly, he frowned. The corner of his I saw that the crowd at the end of the street seemed to be in chaos. Damn it, they're fighting again. These mercenaries are all muscle-brained idiots. If they break things, won't they have to pay? Looking at the chaotic area, Xiao couldn't help but curse resentfully. The Xiao clan's market area is also selling wound medicine. Just as Xiao was about to send guards to break up the fight, he heard a loud shout suddenly ring out. Hearing the sudden loud shout, Xiao's entire fat body trembled violently. His face slightly changed. After a moment, he laughed coldly. The Xiao clan truly is beyond saving. How could they think of such a method? They are truly seeking death. The loud shout briefly quieted the bustling street. Everyone looked at each other for a moment, then roared loudly, "Damn it, don't think you can use this trick to steal my spot. This old man has been waiting for half a day to get this spot." Clearly, these people thought the loud shout was a tactic to make others leave their spots. After all, this kind of behavior was not uncommon during this period. After cursing for a while, these people continued to wait to buy the rejuvenation powder. Of course, not everyone thought this way. A small group of mercenaries, who were already disgusted by the Xiao clan's tyrannical behavior, hesitated for a moment and ran towards the Xiao clan's market area, half believing and half doubting. Upstairs, Xiao looked at the crowd, which was still as bustling as before, and couldn't help but laugh loudly. The Xiao clan? Let's see how long you can last. Wutan City will be ruled by the Xiao clan from now on. One of the three major clans. Those days will never return. The loud shout earlier was like a leaf falling into the sea in the bustling noise, creating no waves at all. The Xiao clan's popularity was not damaged in the slightest. Of course, that was only temporary. Half an hour after that shout, more than 10 strong men in mercenary attire, at the entrance of the Xiao clan's market area pushed aside the guards. Their faces were ecstatic as they walked in. They raised the jade bottles in their hands high and shouted in unison, instantly drowning out the bustling noise in the market. The Xiao clan is also selling wound medicine. The coordinated shout made the market area suddenly fall silent. All eyes turned towards the source of the shouting. One of the mercenary's strong men looked around the market, then stepped onto a large rock. With a shong sound, he drew the large knife from his waist, then bit his teeth, and slashed a bloody cut on his arm. Raising his blood-soaked arm, the strongman held a green jade bottle in his hand. He tilted it slightly, and a stream of crimson liquid flowed out, covering the wound. The red liquid permeated the wound, which was furiously bleeding. Before everyone's eyes, the wound slowly changed. In just a moment, the bleeding stopped, and the wound solidified into a thin layer of blood scab. Witnessing this scene, everyone's eyes instantly turned hot. Such rapid hemostatic effect was truly essential when on a mission. This is the latest product from the Xiao clan's market area, called the blood coagulation powder. Not only is the medicinal potency excellent, but the price is also 2 times lower than the rejuvenation powder. What are you all waiting for? Do you still want to be fools and let them exploit you? Hurry up and leave. The mercenary strongman held up the jade bottle. He laughed loudly, speaking brazenly. The street was briefly quiet. A mercenary who had just entered the market stared intently at the jade bottle in the strong man's hand. After a moment, he instantly turned around and ran out of the market area at full speed, looking at the figure desperately running out of the market. The crowd was momentarily stunned. Then, the ground trembled as a tide of people frantically rushed out of the market area like the wind. The strongman whose arm had been cut stood on the large rock. A strange smile appeared on his face. The wind blew his clothes, vaguely revealing the Xiao clan's family crest. Source: Triunful. The market area, which was once noisy and crowded, instantly became empty after this immense shock. Aside from the guards standing wide-eyed outside the door, the street was deserted. The Xiao clan has begun its counterattack. Looking at the empty street with no merchants, a thought quickly arose in their minds. The merchants looked at each other, then raised their heads to look at Xiao. The triumphant expression on his fat face had now turned stiff, pale white without a trace of blood. At the same time, the same scene occurred in the Xiao clan's market areas managed by others besides him. Xiao clan's response. Inside the large room, the atmosphere was bright but filled with oppressive gloom. On the table in the center of the room was a small, pale green jade bottle, from which a medicinal scent emanated. Quite a few people were sitting in the room. Judging by their attire, they were clearly the high-ranking members of the Xiao clan. Xiao was also present today. On the left side of the main seat, a young man in white robes leaned casually against the chair. This youth was somewhat handsome, but his eyes occasionally flashed with a lustful look that ruined his appearance. This youth was casually sliding his hand into the clothes of the beautiful maid right next to him, not restraining himself or showing any fear. Violated by the youth, the beautiful maid's face was slightly pale. Tears welled up in her eyes, and her soft body continuously trembled, but she didn't dare to make a sound. This is the blood coagulation powder that the Xiao clan suddenly produced. Now, the popularity in our market area has begun to decline. As if ignoring the white-robed youth's rude behavior, Xiao quickly glanced at him, then frowned and spoke. Xiao narrowed his aged eyes. His face was slightly unpleasant. Do you remember the mysterious alchemist we encountered at the auction that day? Judging by his attitude then, he seemed to greatly favor the Xiao clan. If the blood coagulation powder was refined by him, we might be in big trouble. You must know that person might be a third-rank alchemist. Hearing the mention of a third-rank alchemist, the white-robed youth finally stopped moving his hand on the maid's body. He reluctantly pulled his hand out. He picked up the jade bottle, sniffed it lightly, then moved it a bit, rubbing it between his fingers. He laughed coldly. What bullshit third-rank alchemist? The blood coagulation powder is indeed slightly better than the rejuvenation powder, but judging by its color, the person who refined it is clearly of a lower grade than me. It only has that medicinal potency because his pill formula is slightly special. Hearing this, everyone sitting quietly breathed a sigh of relief. If the Xiao clan truly had a third-rank alchemist assisting them, the Xiao clan would surely be unable to recover. In my experience, the alchemist the Xiao clan invited is likely just a beginner who somehow acquired this formula from somewhere to refine this blood coagulation powder. The white-robed youth's face showed unconcealed disdain. Brother Lu Shi, you can tell the source of the medicine just from a small bottle. You have sharp eyes. Xiao laughed, seemingly ingratiating himself. This is just basic knowledge for an alchemist. The youth called Lu Shi shook his head humbly, but a look of smugness faintly appeared on his face. However, this did not escape the eyes of the foxes sitting beside him. Although the rejuvenation powder's medicinal potency is indeed slightly inferior to the blood coagulation powder, the two are not too far apart. Because we increased the price too aggressively in the previous period, if we lower the price now, our popularity will slowly return. However, regaining the previous advantage will be difficult. After all, this blood coagulation powder has drawn away many of the regulars that the Xiao clan had a foothold within Wuten City. Xiao slowly pondered and said, "Adjust the price." Hearing this, Lu Shi raised his eyebrows. He was clearly unwilling. He was used to selling at a high price. Asking him to lower the price now was something he truly couldn't accept. Seeing Lu Shi's reaction, Xiao inwardly cursed him for being brainless. He then forced a friendly smile. Mr. Lu Shi, the current situation is no longer what it was before. In the previous period, our wound medicine monopolized the Wuten City market. Now it's not like that. Therefore, we must lower the price to recover popularity. Shaking his head helplessly, Lu Shi pouted, suit yourselves. Do as you wish. But what I said originally still stands, no matter how much you lower. The price, my share must be based on the original price, 3 times the original price. The corner of Xiao Liai's mouth couldn't help but twitch. Anger flared in his heart. Taking a breath. The smile on his face remained, but it looked noticeably cold. Of course, Mr. Lu Shi's share will definitely be given entirely according to the agreement. Nodding with satisfaction, Lu Shi sat back in the chair even more casually. He arrogantly pulled the beautiful maid beside him into his embrace, brazenly touching her everywhere. Mr. Lu Shi, we don't have much rejuvenation powder remaining now. I sent people to the primer auction house to buy medicinal ingredients for refining earlier. We may have to trouble you to exert yourself a little. Xiao Liai smiled and added, in addition, yesterday we were fortunate to purchase 2 rare desert snake women at an auction. I have already sent them to your room, Mr. Hearing the matter of refining medicine, Lu Shi's face showed a hint of impatience, but as the 2 words snake women reached his ears, the impatience turned into lust. His eyes lit up. He nodded and said loudly, as long as the medicinal ingredients are sufficient, clan leader, you don't need to worry about the quantity of rejuvenation powder. Seeing Lu Shi agree so easily, Xiao Liai's mouth slightly curved in smugness. He inwardly thought with disdain, what trash. His head is filled with lust. If you didn't know how to refine medicine, you would have been punished long ago. Xiao Liai laughed coldly and shook his head. He picked up his teacup and took a sip. He then smiled and discussed some frivolous matters that interested Lu Shi. While talking and laughing with Lu Shi, a clan member rushed in, then quickly approached Xiao Liai and whispered a quick report. Smiling as he listened to the clan member's report, Xiao Liai's smiling face gradually stiffened. The teacup in his hand let out a crack sound, turning into powder. The powder and tea flowed down his hand. That damned primer auction house dares to trick me. His face gloomy, Xiao Liai roared furiously. A wild aura rushed out of his body, swirling in the air with a whooshing sound. Xiao Liai was closest to Xiao Liai, so the strong pressure forced him to pant. He quickly retreated a few steps and shouted anxiously, Father. Xiao Liai's shout made Xiao Liai recover his senses slightly. His face twitched. He then sat down with a chilling expression, saying, the primer auction house now refuses to sell medicinal ingredients to our Xiao Liai clan. As soon as these words were spoken, the main hall erupted in noise. Everyone looked at each other, their faces filled with panic. How is that possible? Didn't the primer auction house always remain neutral? Why are they targeting our Xiao Liai clan? Xiao Liai's face changed. And he said trembling. Faced with profit, who can truly remain neutral? Snorting coldly, Xiao Liai slowly let out a breath. He glanced at Lu Shi, who was struggling due to his aura. His voice was cold as he said, I think this matter is likely related to the Xiao clan. They aren't strong enough to make the primer auction house refuse to sell us medicinal ingredients. Xiao Liai muttered. Who knows what conditions they used to persuade the primer auction house. Xiao Liai rubbed his aged face. An inexplicable sense of unease rose in his heart. What do we do now? Without enough medicinal ingredients, our rejuvenation powder will quickly be depleted. At that time, it will be our turn for the market area to become deserted. Xiao Liai said worriedly. Xiao Liai's face was chilling. He gritted his teeth and said, we still have quite a few medicinal ingredients here. First, send people to gather them all. Try to hold out for a while. If that doesn't work, I will go to other cities to buy medicinal ingredients at a high price. I don't believe the Xiao clan can extend their reach outside this city. As he spoke, Xiao casually picked up his teacup, but he discovered his hand was trembling slightly. Swallowing a mouthful of saliva, Xiao had a strange feeling, as if the Xiao clan had provoked something that should not be touched. Chapter 71. Sitting in the room, suddenly a beautiful young woman walked in from outside. Both her hands carried a small silver tray. Looking on the tray, there was a faint red ring placed there. Accepting the silver tray and dismissing the maid, Ye personally carried it to Xiao and said with a smile, "Old master, all the medicinal ingredients and items you require are inside this storage ring." Reaching out his hand, Xiao took the ring in the center of the silver tray. He turned it over in his palm, feeling somewhat satisfied. Yao Lao's voice also rang out extremely appropriately, "Good. After the qi gathering pill is successfully refined, I will transfer it back to you." A trace of joy appeared in Yefei's beautiful eyes and she quickly nodded. "All right. That's enough. You don't need to see me off. I'll leave by myself." Waving his hand, Xiao put the storage ring over the glove on his finger. Then, without looking back, he walked towards the outside of the guest room. He did not retrieve the blue jade card left on the table. Thinking he owed them quite a few favors, he decided to definitely leave it behind. Looking at the figure slowly disappearing behind the door, Ye bit her red lips. She walked forward step by step, taking the blue jade card into her hand. She pondered for a moment and softly asked, "Uncle Gu and I. The success rate for refining the qi gathering pill doesn't seem to be high, right?" "That's right. It is rumored that Pill King Gu he can only achieve a success rate of around 70% when refining the qi gathering pill. An ordinary 4th rank alchemist likely wouldn't achieve that result. 5 out of 10 is already good," Gu and I said in a deep voice. Yet this old master succeeded on his first try. Yefei's willow eyebrows furrowed deeply. Who knows, perhaps his luck was good. Master Gu and I shook his head, not paying too much attention. After all, alchemist masters also rely heavily on luck when refining pills. If luck is good, they might succeed several times in a row without failure. Could he be not a 4th rank alchemist? After a moment of hesitation, Ye said softly, How could that be? 5th rank alchemists in the Jiama Empire can be counted on one's fingers. People who have reached that rank would be treated as honored guests even by powerful forces like the Empire or the Misty Cloud sect. How could they come here to our auction house to auction pills? Gu and I laughed. Hearing this, Ye also slightly nodded, then sighed. She said with a bitter laugh, "It seems my experience is still insufficient. Our hesitation earlier likely caused this mysterious alchemist to reduce his goodwill towards us quite a bit." "You can't be blamed. That was a huge amount of gold. Even I wouldn't dare to agree instantly. What you did was already good enough. As for the relationship, we can slowly nurture it later. It's good enough as long as he doesn't develop hostility towards us." Gu and I comforted her. Nodding with a bitter smile, Ye sat down on the chair, her alluring curves revealed. Her eyes were half closed and she said softly with a hint of confusion, "Why does he need so many low-level medicinal ingredients?" "These medicinal ingredients are all used to stop bleeding and mend bones. I think he might be planning to refine wound medicine." His tone solemn, Gu and I frowned, also saying with a hint of doubt, "With his status, why would he condescend to refine this kind of low-level wound medicine?" Hearing this, Yefei's beautiful eyes narrowed. Her slender, jade-like fingers lightly tapped the table. After a moment she said softly, "It seems this old master is quite partial to the Xiao clan." Frowning, Guni's expression was shocked. "Are you suggesting that he is refining wound medicine for the Xiao clan? Recently, it's rumored that the Jialai clan somehow invited a first-rank alchemist who is capable of producing the rejuvenation powder, which has spread, and is being used by more than half of the mercenaries in the market area. If the Xiao clan doesn't quickly come up with a strategy, I fear they will face the embarrassment of having no merchants in their market area. Yafei's eyes flowed. She said indifferently. The old master mentioned last time that he would cooperate with the Xiao clan if there was a chance. And the raw materials he just purchased are for refining large quantities of wound medicine. The target is quite obvious. It seems the Xiao clan has gained a big advantage this time. The Jiaolai clan will encounter a lot of trouble here. Hearing Yafei's analysis, Gu Enai grinned. A hint of envy appeared on his face. Gaining the assistance of a fourth-rank alchemist was truly an extraordinary privilege. You are reading the story at https://truyenful.vn. Nodding slightly. Yafei smiled softly. Recently, we've also been in contact with the Xiao clan. While adding flowers to a brocade is good, offering a little help now will only further solidify the relationship between both parties. Gu Enai nodded in agreement. With a fourth-rank alchemist backing the Xiao clan, they were certainly worth paying attention to. Leaving the auction house, Xiao Yan walked around cautiously for half a day, as if strolling. After a long while, he finally turned into a secluded, quiet alley and changed his clothes, turning the light red storage ring in his hand. Xiao Yan was somewhat delighted. This type of storage ring was made from a rare material called storage stone, containing a special small space that could store non-living objects. It was an extremely useful tool. However, storage stone was rare, so the storage ring was also incredibly precious. The one in Xiao Yan's hand was only the lowest grade storage ring, containing a square space of about 3 or 4 zhang. But even so, this ring was worth over 100,000 gold coins. In the Xiao clan, Xiao Yan had only personally seen his father and the first elder possessing such a storage ring. Playing with the storage ring for a moment, Xiao Yan hesitated, then took it off his finger and carefully hung it around his neck. This kind of ring was not easy to obtain. If his father and the others were to accidentally discover it, it would be very difficult for him to explain its origin. Waiting until the ground beneath his feet was completely dark, Xiao Yan carefully walked out of the secluded, quiet alley. He then rushed straight back to the clan. Walking along the small path through the clan, he passed the council hall and heard his father's angry shouts inside. His eyelid twitched. Xiao Yan lightly stepped onto the steps and quietly entered through the door. The Jiaolai clan's objective was entirely devised by that old bastard. How dare they openly steal our business? In the main hall, Xiao Zhan said angrily, clearing his throat. He slammed his hand on the table, causing the tea in the cup to spill out. Now, the population in the Xiao clan's market area has been greatly reduced. The remaining merchant guilds in the market are also in complete panic. Quite a few have secretly fled to the Jiaolai clans market area. If this continues, I fear we will have to close our market area in less than half a month. Sitting below him, the second elder also said, grinding his teeth with a gloomy expression. Why don't we send the clan's elites to secretly assassinate that first-rank alchemist? The third elder's eyes showed a fierce light, and he said coldly. That alchemist is now continuously protected by 2 great Dou masters. It's not that easy. Xiao Zhan waved his hand helplessly. But if we let this continue, our losses will be too great. We used to capture the largest profit share from the market areas in Wuten City. The third elder said unwillingly. Xiao Zhan's mouth twitched. At this moment, he truly hadn't thought of any solution. That day at the auction house. Didn't that mysterious alchemist say he would cooperate with us if there was a chance? Judging by Guni's respectful attitude, his rank is definitely not low. If we had his assistance, the Jiaolai clan surely wouldn't be able to last much longer. The first elder, who had been silent, suddenly said softly. "AI, who knows if he was telling the truth or just speaking casually? What benefit would a person of that caliber gain from cooperating with us? In terms of profit, how much would he take?" Xiao Zhan laughed bitterly and shook his head. He sat down and sighed. The three elders also fell silent. A person of that caliber was truly difficult for the Xiao clan to reach. "Forget it, let's wait a few more days and see. If the Jiaolai clan still doesn't know. Better, then don't blame us for fighting until both sides suffer heavy losses." Licking his lips, Xiao Zhan's hand clenched tightly. A fierce light flashed in his eyes. Outside the door. Hearing this, Xiao Yan subtly shrugged. His hand touched the storage ring on his chest. A hint of coldness appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he slowly retreated. The cauldron and initial. Alchemy. Leaving the council hall, Xiao Yan returned to his room. He needed to properly prepare a few things to refine the wound medicine. He then quietly went to the secluded cave behind the mountain, where he cultivated before. Yao Lao had said that the most forbidden thing during alchemy was to be disturbed. With many people coming and going in the clan, if Xiao Yu were to suddenly barge in again, Xiao Yan might not be able to bear the consequences. Sneaking into the cave, Xiao Yan couldn't wait any longer. He took out the storage ring from his chest, then infused a stream of dou qi into it. The faint red light on the ring flashed. A red cauldron, about half a meter tall, immediately appeared inside the empty cave. The cauldron was entirely a deep red. A light aura radiated from it. Beneath the cauldron, two ferocious snake heads were carved. The snakes' mouths were wide open, forming two empty fire vents that communicated with each other. They twisted continuously, and the diameter of the openings subtly became smaller, mysteriously leading into the body of the cauldron. In various places on the cauldron, large snakes occupied most of the surface. On the top of the cauldron, there was a small, special opening, which was the spot for inserting medicinal ingredients. On the surface of this cauldron, a small opening was crafted using some cold crystal, which served as a heat vent to prevent high temperatures from cracking the cauldron. In the middle of the cauldron, there was a section made of a clear cold crystal, forming a transparent mirror. From here, one could see all the activity inside during the alchemy process. The exterior of the cauldron was decorated with luxurious carvings of ferocious magical beasts, looking extremely lifelike. Looking at the ornate patterns on the outside of the cauldron, Xiao Yan nodded with satisfaction. He lightly touched the ancient black ring on his finger. Yao Lao transformed into a ray of light and quickly appeared. This rank 2 cauldron is indeed suitable for a beginner like you." Glancing at the three snake mouths on the surface of the deep red cauldron, Yao Lao said indifferently. "Rank 2 cauldron?" Hearing this strange term, Xiao Yan stared questioningly. Alchemists' cauldrons are also graded. The more fire vents a cauldron has, the higher its rank and the rarer it is. Don't think that these fire vents can be made by just carving a few holes. The intricacy is such that laymen fundamentally cannot determine it. The fire vent is the essence of the cauldron and must be crafted extremely meticulously. Even a slight error during crafting will make the entire cauldron a failure. Therefore, the cauldron with more fire vents is more beneficial for alchemy. Of course, controlling multiple fire vents requires powerful soul perception. With your current ability, controlling 2 fire vents is already the limit. Yao Lao explained with a smile. Obtaining a good cauldron is as important to an alchemist as having a precious sword is to a martial artist. Slightly stunned, Xiao Yan nodded. He looked at the large object in front of him and excitedly asked, "What should I do next?" "First, familiarize yourself with the cauldron. Place one of your hands on the fire vent. Then channel the dou qi in your body into it," Yao Lao instructed from inside the cave. Nodding, Xiao lightly touched the fire vent. His eyes were half closed. The pale yellow dou qi inside his body subtly fluctuated. A stream of pale yellow dou qi forcefully shot out, finally appearing in his slightly yellowed palm. The pale yellow dou qi remained silent for a moment after reaching his palm, then it was as if subjected to a wild suction force. It flowed out from his palm and entered the cauldron through the fire vent. Puff! A dull sound rang out. The pale yellow dou qi, after passing through the fire vent, suddenly transformed into a pale yellow flame, burning continuously inside the cauldron. The flame suddenly spewing out of his palm startled Xiao inwardly. He nearly instinctively retracted his hand, but sensing that his palm remained cool, he suppressed his shock. Good, not bad. You were able to generate a flame on your first transformation. Looking at the flame rising inside the cauldron, Yao Lao nodded and said in a deep voice, "You can only generate a flame now, which is not the fire used for alchemy. Now focus your mind and control a trace of wood attribute energy in your body, and push it into the cauldron." Xiao immediately complied. He closed his eyes, continuously and vaguely searching for the faint trace of wood power in his body. The first time searching for wood power in his body, Xiao only managed to find it after more than 10 minutes. He let out a breath and opened his eyes. You are reading the story at Thien Full www.Thien Full. You found it. Seeing Xiao open his eyes, Yao Lao said with a hint of surprise. After seeing him nod, he couldn't help but inwardly praise him. The first time he searched for the trace of wood power, it took him twice as long. This showed how formidable Xiao soul perception was. Xiao extended a finger and lightly placed it on the fire vent. A faint, extremely simple stream of green energy slowly flowed inside. As soon as the green energy stream entered the cauldron, the flame inside, which was originally pale yellow, immediately became calm, as if a chemical reaction had occurred. Even without Xiao controlling the flame, he could now sense that the volatile components of the flame inside the cauldron had been neutralized by the wood power. Furthermore, following the principle of wood generating fire, the flame's color was now clearer than before, and it could be controlled for a longer time. Good. Nodding with satisfaction, Yao Lao reached out his hand and tapped Xiao forehead. A surge of information was immediately transmitted into his mind. This is the wound medicine formula I personally formulated. Try refining it. I will remind you at all times to control the temperature of the flame and the proportions of the medicinal ingredients. Narrowing his eyes to sense the information in his mind, Xiao nodded slightly. Blood coagulation powder, 1 stalk of blood coagulation grass, 1 piece of vitality fruit, 2 blossoms of poppy flower. After briefly recalling the amount of medicinal ingredients in his mind, Xiao slowly used his soul power to penetrate the cauldron, trying to control the relatively gentle flame. The storage ring on his finger shot out a stalk of slightly dark red grass, which was the blood coagulation grass. It appeared in his palm. After a moment of hesitation, Xiao immediately placed it inside the cauldron. Through the fire vent. The blood coagulation grass had just entered the cauldron when Xiao failed to control it. The flame immediately flared up. In an instant, the stalk of blood coagulation grass turned into black ashes, which were then pushed out of the cauldron through a special part. Looking at his first mistake, Xiao smiled awkwardly. Continue. Yao Lao said indifferently. Swallowing a mouthful of saliva, Xiao took out another stalk of blood coagulation grass. This time, the blood coagulation grass in the cauldron lasted a little longer, but it also turned into ashes like the previous time. The temperature is too high. Wiping cold sweat from his brow, Xiao finally realized that refining pills himself was indeed something not everyone could handle. After persevering and incinerating more than 20 stalks of blood coagulation grass, Xiao reluctantly managed to control the temperature suitable for the blood coagulation grass. He tossed in another stalk of blood coagulation grass. Xiao face was solemn. His soul perception steadily controlled the flame's temperature. His gaze penetrated the cold crystal mirror, staring intently at the blood coagulation grass floating in the flame inside the cauldron. After the flame burned for a moment, the blood coagulation grass finally slowly lost its outer shell. The liquid contained within the herb was incinerated into a bit of pale white powder. The medicinal essence of the blood coagulation grass was finally successfully distilled by Xiao. In the small cave, the flame inside the cauldron reflected on the walls, constantly changing shape, as if baring its teeth and claws. Xiao focused his entire mind, staring intently at the flame rising inside the cauldron. His face was slightly pale, and beads of sweat poured out heavily. The longer the refining time, the faster the dou qi was consumed. Furthermore, with Xiao current technique, which was the lowest grade yellow rank technique, sustaining such abundant dou qi was not his advantage. Therefore, being able to persist in front of the cauldron for 2 hours was already commendable. Narrowing his eyes at Xiao successful condensation of the blood coagulation grass into white powder, Yao Lao nodded, knowing he had reached his limit. He said softly, "All right, rest for a bit first." Hearing this, Xiao shoulders, which were trying to maintain balance, instantly slumped. His body collapsed onto the cold ground as if drained of all strength. He panted heavily, his chest constantly rising and falling. His whole body felt paralyzed. He truly couldn't move even a finger right now. Now is the best time for cultivation. Glancing at Xiao lying on the ground, Yao Lao said indifferently. Idleness and diligence fought in his heart for a moment. Xiao let out 1,000 unwilling wails and sat up. His trembling hands formed the cultivation seal, and he slowly closed his eyes. Looking at Xiao demeanor, Yao Lao smiled. His gaze shifted to the dozen or so jade boxes scattered in front of the cauldron. Inside these jade boxes was the white powder refined from the blood coagulation grass. These were the results of Xiao previous efforts. The jade boxes, placed from right to left, showed the powder's color gradually becoming darker. The last one was almost a completely clear white powder. Looking at this extremely clear progress, Yao Lao nodded with a hint of awe, praising Xiao powerful soul perception in his heart. Glancing at Xiao beside him, who was recovering his dou qi, Yao Lao sat cross-legged leaning against the cave wall, leisurely closing his eyes to rest. Xiao had only refined one type of medicinal ingredient. There were still 2 more types waiting for his slow efforts. After nearly an hour of closed-eye cultivation, the previously depleted dou qi in Xiao body, which only had a faint cyclone remaining, finally shone brightly again, becoming dazzling. Furthermore, this glow seemed even brighter than it was just a few hours ago. Slowly opening his eyes, the paralyzed, weak feeling throughout his body had dissipated by more than half. Twisting his body and cracking his arms, the sound of bones clashing made Xiao sigh in comfort. "You've rested well. All right. Continue." Opening his eyes, seeing Xiao once again as vigorous as a tiger, Yao Lao said with a smile. Xiao laughed bitterly and shook his head. After going through the pain of the previous alchemy process, Xiao finally understood that he had been tricked by Yao Lao. Before, when Yao Lao refined pills, he would casually wave his hand and incinerate things, causing the moisture inside the pills to evaporate wildly, like a flame in a furnace. That simple process gave Xiao the impression that alchemy was extremely easy, but today, refining it himself, this task was more difficult than mining ore. Now that he knew the truth, it was a little late. Xiao could only sigh in frustration. He then sat cross-legged in front of the cauldron, beginning to continue refining the essence of the remaining 2 medicinal ingredients. With the experience of refining the blood coagulation grass before, Xiao refining this time was Clearly much easier. After consuming 10 blossoms of poppy flower and 8 pieces of vitality fruit, he finally managed to refine the necessary components for the wound medicine from those two. Medicinal ingredients. You are reading the story copied at tree in full. From the vitality fruit, he refined a tiny black pellet. These small pellets could help vitalize the blood and qi. Outside. Some experienced mercenaries would often crush this vitality fruit and drink the juice if they didn't have enough wound medicine, using it to alleviate their injuries. From the poppy flower, he refined a pale red liquid. This liquid helped to stabilize the nerves and could be used to eliminate pain. Looking at the 3 refined medicinal components neatly laid out in front of him, Yao Lao slightly nodded and said softly, "Use the refined materials. Now fuse their medicinal potency together." Taking a deep breath, Xiaoyan's face was solemn as he nodded. He skillfully poured the white powder into the cauldron first, then used a moderate flame to incinerate it for 10 minutes. Waiting until the white powder turned slightly pink, he quickly poured the poppy flower liquid into it. As soon as the liquid entered the cauldron, it enveloped the white powder. Tumbling for a moment in the flame, the two gradually fused into a sticky pink liquid. His soul perception tried to control the temperature of the flame, slowly incinerating the sticky pink liquid. Under the continuous tempering of the flame, the sticky liquid turned into a dark red paste. Looking through the mirror at the dark red paste inside the cauldron, Xiaoyan hesitated slightly, then tossed the black pellet refined from the vitality fruit into it. The small black pellet entered the cauldron but showed no immediate change. It remained in the cauldron, refusing to fuse with the dark red paste. The various medicinal ingredients have different resistance to fire. So you must learn to change the temperature according to the situation, controlling the temperature in different spots within the cauldron. In places where the temperature needs to be lowered, you must suppress the flame. In places where the temperature needs to be raised, you must not suppress the flame. Seeing Xiaoyan completely drenched in sweat, Yao Lao said indifferently, licking his dry lips. Xiaoyan nodded. He hurriedly separated a cluster of his soul perception, trying only to control the flame at the black pellet, gradually increasing the temperature. Thump. As the soul perception released its suppression of the temperature, the flame, no longer suppressed, immediately flared up. In just a moment, nearly half of the black pellet was incinerated into ashes. Xiaoyan was so frightened that cold sweat poured down heavily. He quickly and forcefully suppressed the flame. His soul perception maintained the temperature as before, while simultaneously attempting to raise the temperature of the flame in another spot. This requirement of multitasking truly gave Xiaoyan an unbearable headache. However, having gone through several dangerous situations like this, Xiaoyan finally calmed his mind from the initial panic. The cold sweat on his forehead disappeared. He took a deep breath. The remaining trace of dou qi in his body was completely focused into the fire vent. Inside the cauldron, the temperature of the black pellet continuously increased. It finally couldn't withstand the heat and dissolved. A bit of dark black powder slowly integrated into the dark red paste, making the color of the final product slightly darker. After all the black powder integrated into the dark red paste, Xiaoyan let out a long breath. His hand slowly withdrew from the fire vent, and as his hand retreated, the flame inside the cauldron also gradually extinguished. Looking at Xiaoyan, who was panting heavily, Yao Lao smiled. He waved his hand. The cauldron landed accurately in his hand. The large dark red paste inside the cauldron flew out of the empty space, floating in the air inside the cave. Looking at the dark red paste floating and emitting a strong medicinal smell, Yao Lao waved his hand. With the motion of his hand, the dark red paste was continuously divided. It formed over 100 small clusters of paste. With one hand, Yao Lao took the storage ring from Xiaoyan's hand. He flicked his finger, and more than 100 small jade bottles instantly filled the small Narrow cave. After taking out the jade bottles, Yao Lao casually waved his hand, and the paste clusters floating in the air accurately fell into the jade bottles. Casually picking up a jade bottle, Yao Lao smiled and handed it to Xiao Yan, teasing, "Congratulations on your successful first pill refinement." Accepting the jade bottle immediately, Xiao Yan saw that the color was not entirely pure. It contained a dark red medicinal liquid. He couldn't help but feel a sense of excited pride in his heart. Heh, from now on, I can consider myself an alchemist. Over the next few days, Xiao Yan was almost constantly attached to the cauldron, refining pills. Although life was extremely arduous, his storage ring was filled with wound medicine, which made him feel somewhat happy even during his rest time. Of course, it was also worth noting that due to continuously refining pills for 5 days, the dou qi in Xiao Yan's body had unconsciously become much stronger. His current level had reached that of a 1-star dou practitioner. With heavy feet, Xiao Yan finally dragged himself back home. You are reading the story at https://truyenful.vn. Conflict and resolution. While Xiao Yan was grinding his teeth refining pills in the cave, the atmosphere between the Xiao clan and the Jiaolai clan in Wuten City was becoming increasingly tense. 2 days ago, the Jiaolai clan, seeing their opportunity had arrived, offered extremely favorable conditions to various clans. Instantly, more than half of the merchant guilds who were observing shifted their allegiance to the Jiaolai clan's market area. These actions by the Jiaolai clan were aimed at destabilizing the Xiao clan's foundation. The high-ranking figures of the Xiao clan were furious, nearly moved to outright killing intent. Damn it, we can't endure this any longer. In just 5 short days, our Xiao clan's profit has been reduced by at least 50 or 60%. If this continues, our market area will have to close. Inside the council hall, the third elder said angrily, his expression ferocious. In the main hall, all the clan members with considerable status were seated. Their expressions were gloomy, showing that their hearts were filled with rage. Indeed, we can't let this continue. The first elder slowly sighed, saying, although Master Gu Ni of the Primer Auction House refined over 100 bottles of wound medicine for our clan, the quantity is too small. It fundamentally cannot compare to the immense quantity of the Jiaolai clan's medicine. We can contend with the Jiaolai clan for a short period, but in the long run, once our stock of wound medicine is depleted, we will fall back into the previous embarrassing situation. Sighing, the first elder laughed bitterly, saying, if Gu Ni were to fully assist us, the quantity might surpass that of the Jiaolai clan's first-rank alchemist. But after all, he is a member of the Primer Auction House. They rarely participate in battles between clans. The fact that he helped us this far is already beyond expectation. In the main seat, Xiao Zhan nodded gloomily. The Jiaolai clan's wound medicine, although of very low quality, was immensely high in quantity, and the price was cheap. It was very suitable for treating common sword wounds, so the mercenaries were very fond of it. If we could invite a first-rank alchemist, then we could stand against them. Someone in the main hall said quietly. Hearing this, Xiao Zhan helplessly shook his head. The number of alchemists in Wuten City was extremely small. Inviting one required great effort and reputation. It was truly not easy. This time, the Jiaolai clan somehow got lucky and managed to have an alchemist assist them. Sitting in the corner of the main hall, Xiao Yu and Xiao Ning, along with other young clan members, were also seated. Seeing the gloomy faces of the elders, they dared not intervene carelessly. The heavy atmosphere was filled with pressure. Sister, is a first-rank alchemist really that important? Unable to stand the oppressive atmosphere, Xiao Ning asked Xiao Yu beside him softly. Hearing this, Xiao Yu sighed and said with a bitter, soft laugh, alchemists are truly a blessed profession. A first-rank alchemist's strength is at most the dou practitioner level. If they fight head-on, any elder in our clan could easily kill him. But the terrifying thing about an alchemist is not their head-on combat. They can concoct those incredible, miraculous pills, and because of these pills, they gain an unusual rallying power. It is also because of these pills that countless powerhouses are willing to fight for an alchemist. On the Dochi continent, many people hope to secure an alchemist for themselves. As long as one has an alchemist, he can feel free to act without limit. Think about it, even if 100 powerhouses surround you, what then? Even if you can't kill them all, you can make them tired and force them to give up. Hearing such an example, Xiao shivered, his expression full of envy. But don't dream about it. The conditions for becoming an alchemist are extremely harsh. You know yourself that the probability is even less than stars appearing in the sky during the daytime. Glancing at Xiao pale face, Xiao unceremoniously poured a bucket of cold water on him. Hit hard by Xiao's words, Xiao pouted a little dejectedly, saying, I fear our Xiao clan doesn't even have the fortune to produce an alchemist. Hearing this, Xiao was about to nod, but a picture of a black-robed youth, who looked somewhat like Xiao, suddenly flashed in her mind. Fiercely shaking her head, Xiao secretly thought, why did I suddenly think of that brat? If he could truly become an alchemist, then alchemists in this world probably wouldn't be worth much anymore. Cursing Xiao inwardly for a while, Xiao shifted her gaze to another corner. A girl in green was holding an ancient, thick book. Her fingers occasionally turned the pages. Her eyes flowed, her demeanor calm and composed, causing quite a few peers around her to secretly stare at her continuously. What a good girl! Why does she favor that little brat again and again? Shaking her head helplessly, Xiao fell silent again. Sitting quietly by the window, although her mind was immersed in the book, Huani could sense the atmosphere full of pressure in the main hall. Her willow eyebrows furrowed. After all, she had been in the Xiao clan for over 10 years, and nothing untoward had happened. Even if it was for Xiao sake, she truly wouldn't stand by and watch the Xiao clan be defeated by the Jia clan. I hope that person won't go too far. Sighing inwardly, Huani's gaze returned to the page. Without Xiao beside her, she had no intention of speaking. In the midst of the ongoing discussion in the main hall, a clan guard rushed over. He said respectfully, Clan leader, there is a black-robed person outside. He said he has some business for cooperation, and wishes to speak with the clan leader. Hearing this, Xiao and the elders were startled. They exchanged glances. Their previously gloomy faces suddenly showed signs of immense joy. The several people immediately stood up simultaneously and shouted, quickly invite him in. Seeing the expressions of Xiao and the 3 elders, everyone in the main hall was utterly surprised, staring blankly at each other. Clan leader Xiao, no need to invite me. This old man came uninvited. As soon as Xiao's voice subsided, an aged laugh immediately came from outside the door. Following the voice, a figure completely shrouded in a large black cloak slowly and unhurriedly walked into the main hall before everyone's eyes. Just as the black-robed person entered the hall, Huani, who was focused on the book, suddenly furrowed her willow eyebrows. She slowly raised her small face. Her clear eyes stared intently at the figure walking in through the door. Looking at the black-robed old man walk in, Xiao and the 3 elders quickly stepped out from behind the table. They smiled respectfully and said, Old master, our clan has been busy with affairs. Xiao failed to welcome you. We ask for your forgiveness. No need to be so polite. The aged voice came from within the black cloak. Laughing faintly, Xiao nodded, then gestured to the 3 elders to make way. He smiled and said, Old master, please sit. The black-robed person nodded with a smile and sat down directly next to the main seat without any politeness. Looking at Xiao and the others being so respectful to the black-robed person, the young people in the clan couldn't help but whisper among themselves. Their curious eyes continuously moved over the black-robed person. Upon hearing the black-robed person's identity as an alchemist, their eyes instantly became hot and worshipping. No matter where, the alchemist profession was always one that commanded respect. Sister, isn't that the mysterious alchemist from the auction house that day? Xiao Ning's eyes shone. He looked at the black-robed person and anxiously pulled Xiao Yu's sleeve. Xiao Yu nodded slightly in acknowledgement. Her beautiful eyes rested on the black-robed person. She said happily, I didn't think this old master truly came to our Xiao clan. It seems what he said last time wasn't just spoken casually. If we have his assistance, the Xiao clan's current predicament can certainly be smoothly resolved. Hearing the clan members whispering around her, Huanyi slightly frowned. Her clear eyes stared intently at the plump figure of the black-robed person. For some reason, she always felt that the black-robed person's actions and speech in front of her were somewhat disjointed. Frowning deeply in thought for a long while but yielding no results, Huanyi reluctantly gave up, unwilling to think about it further. Old master, may I ask what brought you to the Xiao clan today? Xiao Zhan asked with a polite smile, personally bringing a cup of hot tea. I happened to be passing by, so I wanted to see the youth of your clan. He truly is a genius youth, capable of increasing several segments of Dou Qi relying only on a little foundation establishing elixir. The aged voice came faintly from within the black cloak. Hearing this, Xiao Zhan glanced around the hall but couldn't see Xiao Yan's figure. He couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Clan leader Xiao, no need to call him. I've already met your young master. He truly is not bad, very much to this old man's liking. Waving his sleeve to stop Xiao Zhan from sending someone to call him, the black-robed person smiled. A hint of admiration was in his voice, making the youth hidden within the black cloak feel a little awkward. Hearing the black-robed person's praise, the eyes of everyone in the main hall couldn't help but show envy. To be evaluated by an alchemist of no low rank was truly not easy. That fellow takes all the good things, Xiao Ning said unwillingly, pouting. A hint of yearning and jealousy was in his tone. Xiao Yu also sighed helplessly. Her jade hand rested on her chin, and she murmured, is that fellow really that good? Why didn't I notice? Hearing the black-robed person say this, Xiao Zhan's smile intensified. A hint of smugness flashed in his eyes. Clan leader Xiao, the Xiao clan's situation recently seems difficult. Xiao Zhan's smile hadn't fully bloomed before the aged voice struck him, instantly making his expression much gloomier. Nodding glumly, Xiao Zhan laughed bitterly. I suppose the old master already knows the Xiao clan's current predicament. I know a little. The black-robed person smiled and nodded. The Xiao clan is now being suppressed by the Jiaolai clan, losing nearly 50% of our properties. If this continues, I fear our status will drop to that of a second-tier power. Xiao Zhan sighed. His eyebrows furrowed, seemingly aging a bit more. Although I don't have a deep connection with the Xiao clan, I have a bit of affinity with your young master. If clan leader Xiao doesn't mind my old man's suggestion, we can cooperate, can't we? The black-robed person smiled lightly. Hearing this, Xiao Zhan was stunned at first, then suddenly overjoyed. Didn't he want to say these very words? He and the three elders excitedly exchanged glances. They immediately nodded without hesitation, saying, Old master, the Xiao clan would be more than happy to cooperate with you. A second-rank alchemist at the very least. Such a figure was nearly impossible for an ordinary clan to invite. Furthermore, Xiao Zhan also believed that the reason this old master chose to cooperate with the Xiao clan was mostly because of Xiao Yan. As long as it was for the development of the clan, How could Xiao Zhan easily let go of this opportunity? Seeing Xiao Zhan's attitude, the black-robed person nodded with a smile. A fair hand reached out from within the black cloak, revealing the light red ring. The fingertip lightly flicked and a surge of light flashed. Looking at the fair, youthful-looking index finger, Xiao Zhan was momentarily distracted. This hand gave him a slightly familiar feeling. Xiao Zhan didn't have time to ponder this familiar feeling. Immediately after, a huge pile of jade bottles suddenly appeared on the table, leaving him dumbfounded. In an instant, the large conference table was completely covered with neatly arranged small jade bottles, leaving no gap whatsoever. Source: Thien Full. Looking at the countless suddenly appearing jade bottles, everyone in the room, except for the girl in green by the window, was shaken by the sheer volume of pills. They subtly inhaled a breath of cold air. Here are 1,283 bottles of wound medicine called blood coagulation powder. Although I can't claim it's a top-grade wound medicine, its healing effect is much better than the rejuvenation powder of the Jiaolai clan. Looking at the shocked expressions in the main hall, the black-robed person still spoke in a faint tone. Xiao Zhan's mouth slightly curved. He took a deep breath. This is truly a grand gesture, ah.